Ethan stayed low in the tall grass. Just ahead, his father, the hunter, moved with a practiced silence, a bow and arrow held ready. A few yards in front of them, a rabbit was drinking from a small stream. Ethan's father nocked an arrow, his movements slow and deliberate. Ethan held his breath, trying to remain perfectly still, but the excitement was too much. He shifted his weight, and the dry grass rustled. The sound was quiet, but it was enough. The rabbit's head snapped up, its eyes wide. It saw the hunter and bolted into the undergrowth. His father's arrow flew, but it missed its mark. The hunter turned, his face a mask of frustration. "Ethan, I know you're there. Come out." Ethan emerged, his head bowed in shame. He expected his father to be angry, but instead, the man's expression softened into a tired smile. "You want to be a hunter, don't you?" "Yes, I do," Ethan replied. "That's a shame," his father sighed. "It's a hard life. We'll have nothing to eat tonight because of your mistake." "I'm sorry, Father. I promise I'll become a great hunter. I'll catch rabbits every night for us." "Don't be sorry, but promise me this. You won't become a hunter. You should be a builder. There's always work for a builder." "I promise, Father," Ethan said. But Ethan was never very good at keeping promises. As he grew older, Ethan tried his hand at many trades: building, blacksmithing, even being a messenger. He grew strong and quick. But every night, he would sneak into the forest to practice moving without a sound. He realized it wasn't just hunting he loved, it was the art of archery. The hiss of an arrow cutting through the air was like music to him. He watched his father constantly, studying his every move. He was never allowed to use his father's bow, of course. Several times, Ethan crafted his own bows from wood he found in the forest. But each time his father discovered them, he would break them in two. When Ethan became a man, he traveled to the capital city. His father had a friend there who offered him a job as a builder. But Ethan had other plans. He walked straight to the royal castle. "I must see Mr. Davies," he announced to the guards. Mr. Davies was the archery instructor for the king's family, the most renowned archer in the entire country. Ethan knew it was a long shot, but he had to try. To his surprise, Mr. Davies, intrigued by the bold stranger, agreed to see him. "What do you want?" Mr. Davies asked, his voice sharp. "Please, sir," Ethan began, "I want you to be my teacher. I will study day and night. I will do everything you say." Mr. Davies looked at him with cold, dismissive eyes. "You know the law. I am the teacher of princes, and I cannot share my art with a commoner. If I taught you, you might become as skilled as they are, and that cannot happen. Promise me you will not bother me again." "I promise," Ethan said, his heart sinking. But as we know, Ethan was terrible at keeping promises. He was mesmerized by the tall, powerful archer. In his heart, Mr. Davies was already his teacher. Before he left, he scooped up a handful of dirt from the spot where the master had stood. From that dirt, he molded a small statue of Mr. Davies. "You will be my teacher," he vowed to the small figure. Ethan took the job as a builder to save money. He eventually bought a fine bow and a quiver of arrows. Every afternoon, he would go to the outer walls of the castle. From the gardens inside, he could hear Mr. Davies instructing the princes. Ethan would listen to his words and practice what he heard, shooting arrows at a large oak tree. The advice was meant for royalty, so it was advanced and difficult, but Ethan was a dedicated student. His days on the construction site made him physically strong, and his nights in the forest hunting small animals honed his skills to a razor's edge. Every evening, before sleeping, he would pray to his small statue of Mr. Davies. Slowly but surely, Ethan became a phenomenal archer. In the dead of night, he could hear an animal rustle in the bushes behind him and, without looking, send an arrow straight into its heart. Word began to spread through the city of a mysterious young man with an almost supernatural skill with a bow. Some even whispered that he was better than the princes. Prince Aaron, the king's son and Mr. Davies' star pupil, heard these rumors and grew jealous. He found out that Ethan practices in the forest at night and went to find him. "You are very skilled," Aaron said, emerging from the trees. Ethan recognized the prince and immediately bowed. "Your Majesty." Aaron smiled, a gesture that didn't reach his eyes. Don't be nervous. I'm not here to cause trouble. I simply want to see your skill for myself. Let's have a friendly competition. Aaron was certain of his victory. After all, his teacher was the great Mr. Davies. But as they began to shoot, it became clear that Ethan was far superior. While Aaron grew frustrated and missed several targets, Ethan hit every single one with effortless grace. "Who taught you?" Aaron shouted, his face red with anger. "My teacher is Mr. Davies," Ethan replied honestly. This sent the prince into a rage. He grabbed Ethan and dragged him back to the castle, storming into Mr. Davies's chambers and waking the sleeping master. "What is the meaning of this?" Aaron yelled. "This man claims you are his teacher. You broke the law and taught him, and now he is better than me." Mr. Davies yawned and fixed his cold gaze on Ethan. "I know this man. He came to me years ago. I refused to teach him." "Teacher," Ethan said softly, "I stood by the castle walls every day and listened to your words. I made a statue of you from the dirt you walked on and prayed to it every night. You are my teacher, even if you never knew it. Please don't be angry." Aaron was pale with fury. Mr. Davies stared at Ethan for a long, silent moment. "Well," he said finally, "a student must pay his teacher. It is the law. You have taken my knowledge, but you have not paid me." "Of course," Ethan said immediately, "I will give you anything." Mr. Davies let out a short, cruel laugh. "Then, cut off the thumb on your right hand." Without his thumb, Ethan would never be able to draw a bowstring again. A wide grin spread across Aaron's face. Without a moment's hesitation, Ethan replied, "Of course." He turned to the prince. "Do you have a knife?" Right there, in his teacher's bedroom, he cut off his own thumb. He then thanked Mr. Davies and walked out. Without archery and without his thumb, Ethan could no longer stay in the capital. He returned to his hometown, where stories of his incredible deed had already arrived. The townspeople couldn't believe it. "Why did you do it?" they asked him. "Because my teacher told me to," he would say. Ethan would sit in the town square, and people, moved by his story, would give him money. He became a storyteller, sharing his tale of dedication and sacrifice. "You are the greatest student who ever lived," a man told him one day. "You show us all what true devotion means." People forgot that Ethan had ever been an archer. Instead, they remembered him for his powerful lesson, how to be a truly dedicated student. He could no longer be a hunter or an archer, but he wasn't sad. He traveled the country, inspiring students everywhere to listen to their teachers and pursue their passions with all their hearts.